off of rental properties. It's not, you can't just point at that and say, well, that's mental health, that's not me. You can't say that's drug addiction, that's not me. You point at these things and you feel maybe a little bit better at night because you think, oh, I'm not anywhere near homelessness. I think people want to feel secure that this is a problem that's on the other side. But I think you're right. We're all a couple paychecks away from struggling with that issue.
Hard. It's really hard. The police, highway patrol, Hope team have been out to try to help us. Some are doing a more responsible job towards us with heart. Some are not. Some have no compunction of taking all of our possessions, which mean the world to us, and things that can't be replaced, pictures, mementos, whatever. And it all goes in the trash truck. The shopping cart that we have to push ourselves and our stuff around gets crushed in the garbage truck, and I don't understand why. Nobody's given us a viable solution or an alternative of where to go. You don't want me here, I get that. Businesses, whatever, residents, I understand.
The Connect Days, you guys are familiar with the Connect Days?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same thing. So that Hope team has all those resources, hopefully readily available on a cell phone to be able to call and say, hey, we need this. Now you go to a Connect Day, the difference is instead of a phone call, they're actually there.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, when Gracie, she said the raid happened, LAPD, sanitation, and whatever other resources, city and county resources showed up that day because as part of the Hope team, so we don't just throw things away, right? Sanitation just doesn't throw things away. We have to conduct 3 attempts of outreach to that persons in that group. And then after giving those 3 outreaches, we pretty much tell them, warn them, hey, sanitation says, hey, we're gonna clean up this area and actually post it, right?
Right.
They see they post a sign that says, hey, on this date, this time, within 48 hours to 72 hours, this location is gonna be clean. And so it was posted.
Yeah.
The raid happened under the freeway.
Yeah, that was the first
Was
one.
it the 405
December
in Nordoff?
29th, yeah.
Okay. And we obviously came in with sanitation, and sanitation threw away. You got arrested?
Everybody except for 2 people, they managed to get away, but the rest of us all went to jail.
So
And spent New Year's in jail too.
So you were in that encampment,
Yes.
tied into it,
Yeah,
and you'd been contacted and warned.
yeah.
So you were aware of it.
Right, but we
Okay.
didn't think that was gonna happen.
Okay. So yeah, that's
But, hey, that's water under the bridge.
no. Well, and this is
I
all
certainly
part of.
learned.
And this
You
is
guys aren't joking.
This is awesome to have her here today because, to hear the different stories, to hear the different sides of the story is very important to understand maybe where I'm coming from, where law enforcement, obviously sanitation isn't here or any of the other agencies except for the city attorney's office, but you'll hear from the city attorney's office, how, when we get it, so the process is we show up, we arrest you,
Right.
we take you to jail, and how long were you in jail for?
8 days.
8 days.
Yeah, I was the last one to get out because I had a warrant in Van Nuys that held me up. But
Jackie Lacey, the district attorney for LA County, is holding meetings and plans to address mental health. I can tell you that my boss, Mike Fuhrer, has recommended that there be somebody like a FEMA director that approaches it like an emergency situation, that becomes somebody that has say over these things. But I think to sit on the outside and say there's no one there, I think that's very true. And I think you guys are in a position as people who are journalists now and becoming better journalists to bring this to light, to show this and to put a spotlight on it that this is something that needs to be done, because that's part of that not in my backyard thing. It's part of that. Why should we put our money into this? These people are just going to take our money and it's going to help somebody that doesn't deserve help. And when all the studies show that if you help somebody get back on their feet, it clears up a lot of this drain. It pays off in ways much more significantly.
But I know them, I know the people, I know the businesses, and there's a couple of places that are homeless friendly, and they don't turn us away, they let us use the facilities, and you know, it makes a big difference to be able to do that. And for a while we were able to use the electricity for charging our phones. That's another big issue too, is there's no place for us to charge up, to be able to stay in contact with Hope Team or you know, whomever. We have a tendency to put, if they're one of us, we put them in check ourselves. Oh, Joe Blow stole Nancy's bike. And Nancy wants, hey, what are you gonna do about it? And so we confront Joe Blow and tell him, you know, hey, look, this isn't gonna fly, and ban him off of our area.
So I think the community's looking, the community wants to help. And the problem is if you look at a majority of nonprofits and groups that are out there to help the homeless, are they, and I think people want to know if that money's going to the right cause, right? Or going to the right person.
Or is it going to administrative costs?
Yeah, and so I think when you go to an individual level and you tell an individual story and you get the community involved, just like you, where you're like mother, you're like a mother hen,
Yeah.
where the community has now adopted her within that area. Now they're more willing, because they know her story and they know her situation, to dedicate and give money to help further her situation. Where if you don't have the individual story and you're just donating to, you know, whatever nonprofit, and you hope it's going somewhere but have no idea, you know, I think that's really hard for the community stomach, because when I've gone out to Facebook, the one thing they want is they want verification.